morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is for you. Welcome back to a Division 2 video, and we got some PTS developer notes for the new season that will also be live next Tuesday. Yes, the 2nd of December, the new season Mutiny will go live and we will get the companion NPC in game. We also will have a full week of drops. Yes, these are the drops you only have to watch for 4 hours with your favorite streamer, or better said, your connected streamer with Ubisoft. We will be one of those streamers as well, so definitely hit us up with a follow, twitch.com/IamPurePrime, and we got you for that full week. So for next week, with the new season, there are a few changes that the devs did to the system since the PTS, and there are a bunch of good changes around. The new season for Tom Clancy Division 2 Mutiny is right around the corner, and our team has taken the time to review the feedback shared during the PTS and addressed some most urgent topics. After so much hard work, we are very excited to see the whole community experience the NPC Companion feature next week, and the PTS feedback was essential in helping us prioritize and polish the new mechanic. Although this feature is closely tied to the seasonal modifier in its current form, we encourage the community to keep sending feedback, as we will continue to refine it and explore opportunities for its return in the future in a different way. So those were the developer notes. Let's dive into what they changed. For the NPC Companions and Modifiers, they changed a bunch around behavior and responsiveness. Companions now react faster to attack, take cover and ability commands. Improved reliability when moving to ordered cover. Companions will keep in cover positions within medium distance from the player. Fixed some cases where companions got stuck or ignored orders. Reduce ranges at which companions would search for targets. Then the downed and revival state. Companions are now invulnerable while reviving the player. When revived by the player, companions now return with full armor, and they added a new SFX for companions down state. And then we have Command Link. Command Link abilities can no longer be triggered out of combat, and the faster Command Link gain during encounters, and they buffed several teamwork bonuses. So I will put it on the screen right now so we don't have to read over everything. And the last thing I want to say about this is all Command Link buffs have stacking durations. Then jumping over to the passive recruit bonuses. While the global modifier is active, recruit companions now grant passive bonuses even when no companion is spawned. So whenever you recruited the assault companion, you can get up to 15% extra weapon damage. The medic will give you up to 20% hazard protection, where the engineer can get up to 15% skill efficiency, and these are just passives. Again, even when no companion has spawned, when we have the global modifier active. And then they buffed and changed a bunch of things around for the companion abilities. Assault Spearhead. The RPG will fire more responsively and accurately, increase the blast radius for upgraded levels, and now grants damage to target out of cover buff to the team. And this is a new addition. We did not have that on the PTS, and I think this is a great addition, as you will see this come back for Engineer and Medic as well. So let's jump over to the Engineer. The Engineer will now more reliably place his turret. The turret no longer prioritizes weak points and engages any enemy in range, and I think this is a huge change, as sometimes it felt like your turret wasn't doing anything because he was looking for weak points, and now it will just engage with any enemy in range. The turret now fires reliably and acquires targets faster, increase the turret's range, and now grants skill damage buff to the team for the duration of the ability. So whenever you have your turret on the ground, you will get a skill damage buff. We don't know yet how much, but you will get that skill damage buff for you and your team. The Medic, quick fix. Support station healing efficiency has been increased. Medic now reliably deploys station close to the current player position. And it now grants armor on kill buff to the team. And this is great. A medic is of course more towards surviving, giving you some more survivability, and that armor on kill comes in clutch. This will be great for you and your team. We'll of course have to see how much it will be, but these are great additions to the assault, the engineer, and the medic. The assault, again, damage your target out of cover. The engineer, skill damage. And now the medic, armor on kill. I think this is a huge W as an addition to these companions. Then we have a few things that changed within the modifiers. For the passive modifiers, multiple passives were buffed. Updated tooltip clarity for several passives. The hostile modifier, jammer enemies now properly display subtle yellow VFX and reduce the jammer's EMP radius for the enemy. For the other things, reduce the companion's VO chatter so he doesn't talk as much anymore, and man, we needed that. I don't mind that he talks to us. I kinda like it. I kinda like if we have some quotes in between, or if he's, you know, trying to communicate back to us. But on the PTS, he was saying literally everything. He was even calling things out that weren't there or he was not doing. So this was definitely needed, and I'm glad to read this. Added an overhead distance indicator for the active companion. Great addition as well. Now you can see how far the companion is away from you. Companions now support legendary difficulty, and this is also great if you are an OG, if you are a veteran player and you like to fly through legendary or test yourself on legendary. Now it can also be done with the companions. I'm very curious how tanky they will be in legendary, and will it now upgrade when you go into legendary, or are the companions always legendary ready? That's gonna be an interesting thing to find out. And that is pretty much everything for the changes for the companion system. Of course, we have a bunch of extra gear, exotics, weapons, talents being added to the game, but there needed to be some changes to the new brand set, the new gear set, and everything surrounding it. So let's start with the gear. We have a new brand set coming to the game, unit alloys, and this has a named holster, the Salvo. On the PTS, it was an extra 8% rate of fire that is now lowered to 5% rate of fire. The unit alloy brand set itself already comes with the 5% rate of fire as the first brand set bonus. So if you now use the unit alloys named holster, the Salvo, you will get a total of 10% rate of fire. Then the gear set, Concentrated Company, the 4 stack was 3% weapon damage, and now it stacks of 3% weapon damage and 2% critical hit damage. The max stacks that can be placed are also now 4 instead of 3, and the chest piece to up the amount of stacks placed are now from 4 to 8. And that is a huge W. We'll have to see if this will help us with the stacking, because that was kind of the biggest issue, as you need to hit your enemy with your skill and or your companion to get a stack. But these changes were definitely needed, and I'm a little bit more excited to test out the Concentrated Company next Tuesday. We also got a few new exotics added to the new season. One of those exotics got a buff, and that's the exotic chest, the Beacon. This will support our ally, will support our companion. On the PTS, it was 20%. It will now be 30% critical hit damage. The skill efficiency for your companion will go from 10 to 15. The armor regeneration will go from 1 to 2. The skill crit damage will go from 10 to 15. The skill efficiency will go from 5 to 7.5. The skill armor regeneration will go from 0.5 to 1. And PvP overrides, the PvP version of this talent will not have any of these buffs mentioned above. above. So this is already a huge buff on the chest piece itself, because you're giving your own damage kind of away for your allies and or your companion. So I love to see this buff. And again, I'm a little bit more excited to see what this exotic chest can do for us. And that's pretty much it. We have a little death note at the end as well. The balance changes applied to the gear after PTS feedback aim to slightly reduce the overall power of the unit alloy brand set, and to buff the concentrated company gear set to make it more appealing. We also recognize that the exotic gear needs to feel special to justify its slot, so we increase the power of the beacon exotic chest to encourage more players to try it and build around it. And now for everyone that loves their PvP in the game, this is a very, very interesting end to these patch notes. While the team is working on a large-scale balance pass for PvP, we have focused on avoiding additional disruption to that environment with the new seasonal additions for now. So yes, isn't this the first time in years that they are saying that they're doing a large-scale balance pass for PvP? All the PvP players will be freaking happy to hear that, and to a certain degree I can also understand that they want to do it, as we, of course, next year will see survivors coming that will have the option to go for PvEVP, to jump into that survival and not only fight NPCs but also fight other players. So it's kinda logical that they're doing a large-scale balance pass, but it's good to see that they're also focusing on PvP. And that's pretty much it. There are a lot of good changes to it. We of course still have to test it out. All of the changes to the companion read very, very well, and I cannot wait to test it out. I love the idea of the companions in-game. It felt a little bit underwhelming on the PTS, and I cannot wait to play around on this buffed new season. The only thing that kinda got a nerf was the salvo holster, but that 8% extra rate of fire was too strong. Maybe that 6% would have been a little bit better, but again, I'm no mathematician and they know better. That's it. Thank you very much for sticking until the end. Like the video if you liked the video or helped you out in any way or form. And of course, if you're new here and or you want to be updated by the Division 2, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. And I will see you in the next one. Pure Prime out.